What's going on, Warning Army? We are only a few songs away from finishing this Teatro Metropolitan concert. And a lot of you guys have already told me that I've noticed that they have dropped a lot of these same songs from this concert. They've been dropping new videos from this Pepsi Center concert that you guys keep talking about. It might not even be the exact same Pepsi Center show. I would imagine they probably have played there a couple of times, but it looks like the band is dropping official live videos. And you guys will have to let me know if that's like the exact same concert that these other videos that you guys are talking about are from, because maybe they might be actually dropping some actual like professional ones for each of the songs from that set. So it sounds like they're doing a lot of promotion. And I like the fact that I'm seeing that because, like, they were very heavy on the Keep Me Fed promotion. They're on that tour right now. So seeing like them promote a lot of their older songs that the fans are still obviously and very much in love with, seeing them promote those kinds of things is also really cool. I like the fact that the Warning does that because it does show that they are in touch with their fan base and they know what their fans want. Because obviously we like the new music, but a lot of us, we still like the old stuff just as much. And that's obviously like, a lot of times when it comes to just overall fandom with bands or artists that, it's one of those things that normally the first record you heard from that band is normally going to be typically your favorite. And for me, I feel like that's way too early to tell because I've only really heard one record and the other songs kind of scattered through the other two. So I when I look at the track list, I'm like, man, these are good albums. So I'm like, I really got to think and sit down and really kind of analyze that once we're kind of getting to that point with my overall fandom with the Warning. I used the word fandom a couple times there, and the reason why is because I feel like the word stan and the difference between a stan and a fan has been really heavy on my mind lately. And that's one of the things that I actually really appreciate about the Warning Army is even though there are a lot of stans out there, there's really not on this channel. Like, you guys obviously are very hardcore and dedicated fans, but I feel like the difference in like where that line is, where you don't make it weird. Like, and yeah, I'm just going to keep it there. Like, you guys don't make it weird. Next on the list, we have Error, and that is the overall title track for their last project. So I would imagine this one to be probably one of their bigger songs that a lot of people liked because they named the overall project after this song. So I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. Doesn't really matter. But obviously, this song had a lot of importance to this overall record, so I'm excited to hear it.
What do you want to know? I'm the ever inside. At the end of the day, bottle time, everybody must die. It's the freedom of choice that kills the mind. And I hate you, what you just think of me. You can free me, but you don't. I'm the ever you hide. But you will always want me so.
Oh my God, that riff is nasty, but I got my arm hairs and the goosebumps are back again. Oh, that chorus is electric, man. And like I said, it gave me goosebumps, like hearing it the first time. Like, oh, it just spoke to my soul. I've been trying to rack my brain about like what the 001001 thing was. To me, it sounds kind of like a code. Like a numeric code or something like that, but I don't know. Obviously, I don't know like, what it would mean. I don't have anything like that like memorized, but I'm 100% sure that there's definitely a reason behind that because why else would it be in there? It definitely represents something. It's the freedom of choice that kills the mind you could free me, but you don't. I could be off base here, but what I took away from this chorus, like with like tying to like being the air inside, like those things that we do to ourselves that are bad for us, whether it's, you know, external or internal. Like it could be just like, you know, your own self-deprecation and things that you like, you know, tell yourself that beat yourself up that aren't good for your mental health or your overall state of being. But then it also ties to like all those external things, like, you know, the food that we eat, if we don't exercise enough, like, you know, if we abuse alcohol, like all those kinds of different things are like obviously bad for us. But, you know, it's the freedom of choice that we allow ourselves to basically kind of kill ourselves at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm probably off base here, but it just made me think about like, you know, like those vices or those little things that you wish that you could change about yourself that you still haven't done, or like those like, you know, like the bad sides of you, if you will. Not trying to demonize any of those things. I think that everything is okay within moderation, and you have to know what is okay for you. Just know your limits and don't cross lines and hurt other people. And I feel like everybody should be free to do whatever they want to do. Get off your high horse, Johnny, and press play.
Let me guide you. We could be something greater. If you let me, I'll make you the savior. It shall be your destruction, but you know it's your purpose. Sacrifices are made to be perfect. You didn't, no side effects, and now you want us to connect. It's never too wrong. What do you want to know? I'm the ever inside. At the end of the day, final time, everybody must die. It's the freedom of choice that kills the mind, and it hurts you to just think of it. You can free me, but you don't. I'm the ever you hide, but you will always want me so. 10010. Program disaster. You're my maker, but you're not my master. I'm the error inside. At the end of the day, final time, everybody must die. It's the freedom of choice that kills the mind, and it hurts you to just think of it. You can free me, but you don't. I'm the ever you hide, but you will always want me so.
Oh, that way that they do that, like that 100 thing, like on the with the addition of that is super sick at the end. The transitions with like the cameras and the way that they kind of like transition to like the grainy footage and makes it kind of feel like a music video a little bit. I really like those shots in this video as well. I didn't catch that so much in some of the other performances. I don't really think I really noticed it really being done too much other than like maybe in this particular actual song. I have no idea what this song is about, but I like it. I like the riff in it. That riff is super sick. I know that you guys tell me a lot that I'm gonna just call her the bass player now, because I feel like I keep being told that I'm saying her name wrong, and maybe it's just my Caucasian accent, but I know her name is like Alejandra, right? So like, I don't know how to shorten that. I don't know how to say that like everybody else where it sounds the right way. People tell me I'm saying it right, but then I'm also being told by people with the same name that I'm not saying it right. So I'm just going to call her the bass player. Apparently she writes a lot of the riffs with her bass, and then they kind of transition into that into what that sounds like on a guitar riff, which totally makes sense because that's the way a lot of times songs are built. especially like when it comes to like rhythms, right? I always find it interesting because sometimes like, it starts with a bass line, sometimes it starts with a guitar riff. Sometimes they want to hear a drum groove, and that inspires me to make noise with my other instruments. Sometimes it starts with lyrics, so we just got to go from there. So like it's always different, and I think it's always interesting that the writing process that people take and bands take when it comes to really any music that they make. That is probably my number one criteria, I think, for really almost anything that I listen to, is if I find out that you don't write your own music, like especially the lyrics, if somebody else is writing your lyrics, I get that you write lyrics like with groups, that sometimes people help inspire them, but if somebody is writing the lyrics and giving them to you, I don't like that at all. I'm a fan of songwriters, not necessarily performers. Don't get me wrong, I do like some performers too, but we're probably not going to really ever talk about it on this channel. Even though I'm probably off base on what this song is about, I don't hate the fact that it still made me feel something. And that's one of the things that I think when it really comes to music, that's exactly what I'm looking for, is I like hearing what the song is really about. I like to hear what the writer had in their mind and what they were inspired by and what created that process. But if that's not exactly what it made me think about, and it's not what I felt from it, I'm not mad at it. I like to be wrong. I'm wrong a lot of the times. And honestly, I don't care. Like, it's cool that they wrote that, but like, isn't that the point of art? Is that like, if as long as it makes you feel something, I did my job. And that's why I'm always excited for a new Warning song, because they're going to make me feel something one way or the other, even if my lyric assessments are off. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Narcissist is up next. We have finally reached the week of my very first Warning concert, and I cannot be more excited for this Saturday. Warning Army, you guys are the best. I appreciate you guys so much for hitting like on the video. And if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family, there is always room for you. Till next time, thanks for watching.